I don't go. It's my money.
You cannot prove to me what you're doing with this money.
I work in.
Show me documents now.
All we need from you is proof of what you're saying. If you provide that proof, it can be released back to you.
Officer Lee suspects the passenger has been using visit visas to stay longer in Britain than he claims. Now she wants to dig a little deeper.
He says he's a business owner in Pakistan running a fruit and vegetable business, export business. But I don't see how he can be doing that when he's spending most of the time in the UK. So I'm just going to work out how much time he's actually been spending here since he got his first visa. 6 weeks he was home. I conclude from my investigations that this gentleman is living here. He's out of 30 months, he's spent 26 and a half months here. And of course, we don't know what he's actually doing while he's here, which is what we're going to attempt to find out. OK, sir. You come with me, please? Yeah. How many bags do you have with you? Just this one and one other?
Immigration officers have the powers to search luggage for evidence.
You said you didn't have any documents. What's this? OK, this is a notice from Company's House saying your accounts are due for your company. You're supposed to be a visitor in the UK. Why are you running a company here? Why have you got this?
No, it's company. It's my company.
It's your company? Yeah, it is, because it's registered here. Why would they have a detail of your company?
No.
OK. All right, so bags on the trolley, please. We're going to go back upstairs.
Upstairs is where the formal interview rooms are. Officer Lee is now going on record, and her visitor has asked for the help of an interpreter.
When you are here, are you spending all your time marketing your business?
Yes.
Because I'm not satisfied that you're just visiting the UK. You haven't given me sufficient information, and I don't understand some of your answers.
Sufficient information.
You're not giving me explanations as to why you need to fly here. The basis of what he's saying is that he's been here pretty much solidly since October 2005 to market his fruit and veg business that he runs in Pakistan. He's not had any orders from anyone in the UK for that whole time, and yet when asked why he's sending money back to Pakistan, he says it's for packaging and boxes, even though he's not actually sold anything to package or box. He must be doing something to earn money. I'm not satisfied about what you've been doing for 26 months because you can't explain. So how can I be satisfied of what you're going to do this time? There's a high likelihood that he's been told to stick to a simple story. We see it quite often. It's an unbelievable story, and yet if you stick to it, what can we do? And it's very probable that he's heard through the grapevine. Don't tell him anything, just keep quiet. Don't try and include too many people in it. And if they can't prove anything, then you might be all right.
Officer Lee has heard and seen enough. For the final decision, she will consult her boss, the Chief Immigration Officer.
His sole purpose in coming to the UK is to market his business in the UK. Not as a visitor.
Well, if that's what he's actually doing.
If that's what he's doing. But we haven't got evidence
unsuccessful,
otherwise. We don't have any pay slips or anything like that, or any NI numbers or anything like that to say he's working.
I think he clearly falls to be refused. I think we'll cancel it on the basis of it.
OK, do a change of circumstances then, yeah.
Which will give him the right of appeal before removal if he chooses to exercise it, and that's fine. OK,
the passenger is being refused entry, and he will go back to Pakistan. The earliest flight is tomorrow morning. So he's going to remain in our holding room overnight because, unfortunately, it's too late now to get him a bed for the night and get him back here in time for the flight, which is at 5 to 8 in the morning. OK, so this is the reason why you've been refused entry. Do you want me to read it to you, or would you like it translated? We had lots of evidence to work with, and whilst we didn't get a confession as to exactly what he was doing, we were able to establish that he's not just a visitor, and so essentially he's using the UK as a base for whatever he's doing. And there's enough reason there to cancel his visa because he stated when he applied for it he would come for a 3-week holiday, and he's spent 26 out of the last 30 months here.
The passenger was detained overnight and placed on a flight back to Pakistan the following day.
The team get word that a passenger has been stopped after a routine search by security at departures. He was found to be carrying a large amount of cash. officers Alan Skipworth and Mark Wright want to investigate as the man has not declared the money to customs. But there's not long before his flight leaves.
There's a gentleman been found by security, been brought round to the OB office with approximately £10,000. Says it comes from his earnings as he's a taxi driver in London. So we're just on our way to the office now to investigate. Hello sir, how you doing? You got some money with you?
Yeah.
You got some money with you? Okay. Got one of my officers coming down here now. Just going to take you into the back office here, have a chat about your money, have a look at what it looks like. Yeah, is that all right? Yeah. Okay.
The man, a Dutch national working in Britain as a taxi driver, is planning to fly with his money to Eritrea.
Right, so if you want to take a seat over there for me.
He says his cash amounts to £10,000.
My officer will speak to you in a minute, okay?
If he wants to take it out of the EU, he must prove the money is legitimately earned, taxed and not connected to criminal activity.
I understand you're carrying some money out with you today. You're carrying money?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me where you got the money from? Is it from salary?
Yeah, salary.
Okay.
I work it.
Was it drawn from a bank account or did you keep it at home? Do you have any of your bank account details with you?
I don't have now.
Nothing at all?
I have in my home.
Okay. What are you going to do with the money when you get to Eritrea?
Project.
You've got a project?
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the project?
I do it home.
Yeah.
Housing.
Are you building house?
Yeah.
Can you show me the money?
What's the problem? This is my money.
Yeah.
I'm working.
Okay, if you're carrying more than £1,000,
Yeah.
then we have the right to challenge you and to get you to explain where the money came from and what you intend to do with the money.
From the bank.
Okay? Okay, well let's have a look.
Looking. Yeah. No
Okay.
problem. You can check it. No problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
The bundles of cash are not wrapped in official bank seals. With doubts over the legitimacy of the money and his story, the passenger faces a nasty surprise.
The suspicion here, he's got no proof of where the money came from. It's not bank wrapped. He's saying it's come from a bank. There's no evidence that it's coming from a bank at all. So what we're going to do is possibly detain the money, take it to court, ask for a 3-month detention to further investigate the money. If he can come forward in that time with documentation, evidence where the money's come from, what it's going to be used for, as he said, it's going to be used to build a house in Eritrea. If he can supply any of that and it checks out, there's no problem until we return the money.
The team will have to act quickly because time is running out.
Okay, how much is there altogether? Everything.
You can check it. I don't know my man.
Sir, we need to know exactly how much money you are carrying.
About 15.
Okay. 15,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not criminal. I'm Christian man.
Sir,
yeah.
You've got half an hour till your flight actually takes off. Now, if we get permission to take this money, what would you do? Would you still go on your flight? Or would you stay? You still go on your flight?
I want to go.
Right, okay. Alan,
Okay.
phone the IFU.
The officers must refer the details of the case to a customs investigation team. They decide if there is enough evidence to seize the money before the man boards his flight.
He claims that he's going out to Eritrea to build a house, but there's no documentation whatsoever connected with the money, and he's being evasive about where he got the money from.
Okay. So in total, 15. About.
Yeah, you can check it from here.
Well, no, I can't. It will take too long.
Okay, we've got 3 bags to search, 10 minutes now, and we're trying to do the paperwork.
What's the problem, my friend? I am working. This is my money. I go from the bank.
Okay. You cannot prove to us that this money belongs to you.
They're not giving us authorisation at the moment, so now, we're up against the clock. We've got now 5 minutes to go. Phone her up quick. Tell her if she can't make a decision, I want to speak to her boss, and I'll escalate the process. All right?
The man is clearly keen to hang on to his cash, but the team get the clearance they need to seize it all.
Give me the rest.
Okay.
Where's the rest?
We're going with it then, yeah?
And the rest?
Okay.
Give me the bag.
Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Going with it. Going with it.
Right, John, can we just get it sealed, yeah?
Yeah, he's hiding money again. It's more there.
Okay, so we're estimating this to be £15,000, all right? We're going to seize this from you now. We're going to take it to court before a magistrate at 10 o'clock Thursday morning, all right? You can ask someone to go there on your behalf, all right?
Yeah,
okay?
Have you got his passport?
All right, I'm going round to the aircraft, all right, and actually stop it going, say he's actually travelling, all right?
Okay.
All right, can you get him up there within 5 minutes, yeah?
Okay.
All right, as quick as you can. Yep. There's his itinerary.
Got it.
No,
I'm going now.
No, this is my money.
Sir.
I don't give you.
Sir.
No, I don't go. This is my money.
You're not giving it to us. I'm seizing this money from you. I'm taking it from you.
Yeah.
There is a difference, okay?
No.
You cannot prove to me what you're doing with this money.
I work in.
Show me documents now.
I don't have with me now.
All we need from you is proof of what you're saying. At the moment, we have no proof of how you obtained this money, and that is why the money has been seized from you. If you provide that proof, it can be released back to you.
The man has since tried to claim his money back, but is yet to provide sufficient proof of where it came from. A final decision on the return of the cash is yet to be made. Immigration officers Heary and Williams will lead the questioning of any suspected illegal immigrants found working here.
Hello, immigration.
Officers immediately find 3 Chinese nationals in the kitchen.
One child upstairs asleep, yeah? Okay, we're going to go.
It is reported that the UK is the #1 destination in Europe for asylum seekers from China.
Child is in here? Just the child, or?
Child and one lady.
Hello, immigration. Do you speak English? No. Do you have passport?
A 4th person is found in a bedroom.
What does she need?
Officer Williams takes over.
Tell her not to worry. Does she want to sit down for a minute? You sit down. I need something for this lady, some identification, some papers, or her passport, or something. She doesn't have anything, okay. Is this your baby?
Yeah, my baby.
Okay, is she okay there sleeping? Okay. If we go downstairs, we'll talk away from the baby, okay? So if you ask the lady if she'll come down with us downstairs.
4 people and a baby have been found at the takeaway. Home Office records show this woman is a failed asylum seeker from China who came to Britain in 2004. She disappeared when her application to stay was refused. Now she's pregnant, has a child, and runs a business that is suspected of employing other illegal immigrants. One of the men found in the kitchen admits he entered the UK illegally.
Since he came in 2000, has he made any applications to the Home Office?
No, he's scared.
Did he provide any documents to the lady to say that he had permission to work in this country?
He's her husband.
They're husband and wife, are they?
Yeah.
I believe it's husband and wife. These two.
Can you establish who the boss is?
Since he's married to the owner and they have a child together, this case becomes a little more complicated.
There is the matter now that he's got a child in the UK as well. But that, doesn't take away the fact that he has come into the country illegally.
The UK Border Agency try to avoid splitting up families, so it's unlikely that he'll be arrested tonight. Questioning now moves on to another man. He's told Officer Heary that he's 18 and works in the kitchen.
How long has he worked here?
1 month. Don't get paid.
Doesn't get paid.
This is her cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah.
How did he actually come into the country?
你来的时候是怎么来的？坐飞机、坐船还是怎么着？I didn't know somebody basically brought him in. He came in with somebody.
He was brought in,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Does he want to go back to China?
他问你想不想回到中国去呢 ？No.
He says that he was brought in by an agent, probably somebody who's paid several £1,000s to bring him in. He says he flew into the country, into the airport, travelled with the agent and walked through immigration control. Can you explain to the gentleman then, I'm now going to arrest him on suspicion of illegal entry, okay? If you can just explain that to him.
不是，你就待在警察局了，他们明天会到警察局来见你，跟你谈话。
You go upstairs with him now, yeah?
你现在跟他一块去吧。
Officers search for proof of identity and find a copy of a national insurance card.
Was that his bag there?
住在这边的，有的东西也有钱，以前住在这边的。
Okay, so some of the stuff here is belongs to a private person.
The documents are not his. The team often find ID from other people as many work for short periods before moving on.
Once they're detected, they either get removed or placed in detention, and then what you'll find is this place will then be reoccupied by somebody else doing exactly the same thing.
So far, a failed asylum seeker from China has been found employing her partner and cousin. Officer Williams now wants to unravel the mystery of the woman found upstairs.
Does she work here in the UK then in the restaurant?
Look after the child.
She looks after the children, so she child minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is her boss?
那是那个谁雇佣你呢？就是他哈。Yeah. This lady.
Okay. How much do you get paid for looking after the child?
那工资是多少呢？100 pounds a week.
How did she enter the UK?
问你是怎么来的？
Sorry, we'll check on that now, okay?
Come with gang master.
A gang master.
Yeah. She said she paid a lot of money to the gang master to help her come here.
Okay. How much did she pay?
她说你付了多少钱呢？30万哈，300,000 yuan.
300,000 yen.
Yeah.
Okay.
She says she was smuggled into Britain by Chinese gang masters. It cost her £25,000.
A gang master is somebody who's really trafficked people in here to the UK. She could be the victim of abuse, she could be exploited, you know, so we need to find that out now. Can you ask her, is there any reason why she can't go home to China?
他说问你有什么原因，就是说你不能回到中国去吗？
因为我上次来欠人家很多钱。
So she borrowed money from people.
Okay.
And now if she would go back at this moment, she wouldn't have any money to pay of the debt.
Okay.
Then she.
So she's in debt.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
As the team decides what to do, the childminder's health takes a turn for the worse.
Yeah.
She has a heart problem.
Yeah, heart problem.
Okay.
Tell her, don't worry, she's not in any trouble. She's worried because she hasn't seen anybody like us before, so she's certainly very worried about what's going to happen next. If she'd like to come upstairs, she can get her medicine.
Go ahead.
This is her medication she's given to me.
That's the medicine for her heart problem.
But at the moment I can't allow her to take anything, okay?
The childminder is in breach of immigration law, but concerns for her health come before any arrest.
This lady's potentially ill. She says she hasn't been seen by a GP and we don't want to take her in the car, and she may have a heart attack or something, you know. We don't want to put her at risk at all. But we have to maintain the UK laws as well. Based on what she told me downstairs, that she came into the UK with no passport, then that means that she entered the UK illegally. So I'm now going to arrest her on suspicion of illegal entry into the UK. Okay.
他说那么也是一样的，他也得就是说拘留你。
Tell her she doesn't have to say anything, but it may harm her defence if she does not mention when questioned something she later relies on in court. Anything she does say may be given in evidence.
他就是说你也是就是说可以保持沉默的。
Okay, now sit down. You sit down a moment.
She said that she's going to get her clothes.
Okay. No, if you tell her to sit down, and we're not going anywhere for a moment. My colleague and I will have a look in the room to see if we can find any identification documents for her. Okay.
那你刚才是说那个你的包在那里是吗？
She's moved around a bit. There's some documents for London and for Bristol here. Your children?
Yes. Yeah, her daughter.
And 2 children there.
A decision is taken to arrest the childminder. Her employers are not detained because the woman is pregnant and families with young children cannot be taken into police custody.
Okay. Does she need a glass of water or something? No. Okay.
The childminder is taken to a local police station for further questioning, along with the cousin of the owner who was found working in the kitchen. Although she's escaped arrest tonight, the owner could still face a fine of up to £40,000, £10,000 for every illegal worker. She is now in the process of reapplying to stay in Britain with her partner and their child. A decision is yet to be made on their case. In a later interview, the kitchen worker admitted to being 17. He was brought into the country by a female agent with fake documents. He's been bailed and is now reporting to the police regularly while steps are taken to remove him back to China. At the police station, the childminder complained of a heart problem. She was bailed for a week. She didn't return. Her employers said she had gone to London to claim asylum. No claim has yet been made.
To the UK.
One student has aroused the suspicions of the immigration officers at Heathrow's Terminal 3. He's returning to the UK after a trip home for some unusual surgery. Officer Newbury takes on the case.
We get people going home for all sorts of treatments because obviously in the UK they got entitled for the free treatment on the NHS, so they have to pay for it, and it's quite expensive here for them to pay for it, so a lot of them do choose to go home. This is the first time I've had someone go home to have a hair transplant. This is definitely a first for me. He's been away for 6 weeks. The thing that initially tipped off the officer was the fact that I think he said that he travelled direct from Hounslow to his college at London Bridge on the Piccadilly line. Without actually changing, which I think is actually impossible. You need to change.
Officer Newbury wants to make sure the passenger is a genuine student and that he isn't working more than a foreign student's maximum allowance of 20 hours a week.
Why have you come to the UK? You came in yesterday. Why have you come to the UK?
I come for study in Western College, London.
Western College?
Western College.
And what subject do you study?
I diploma in study. Business study.
Business study?
Yeah, definitely business study.
You said you had surgery in Pakistan?
Yeah, surgery.
What was that for?
Yeah, it's for hair surgery, sir.
Hair surgery?
Yeah, surgery.
Okay. How much did that surgery cost you?
In currency is £500.
Cost £500 in Pakistan, yeah? Do you work in the UK?
Yes, sir.
What do you work as?
I just work with a recruitment company, and after that they send me some other reports for packing something.
Just packing, yeah?
Yeah, just.
Is it just labour?
Yeah, just
with your hands.
Tray,
yeah.
Something straight.
How many hours do you work a week?
Yes, it's 20 hours. 20 hours.
Exactly 20 hours?
Yeah, 20 hours. Because 2 days of work.
What days do you work?
Normally Sunday.
Okay, you say you study 18 hours a week. What days do you study?
Study is Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. I just study 2 subjects, and managerial management.
Is it management or managerial?
Managerial.
Just managerial.
Managerial management.
Managerial management.
Yeah.
And what hours?
It's from 11 to 3.
On Tuesday, what do you study?
On Tuesday is a marketing.
Marketing?
Yeah.
And that's what hours?
It's the same hours.
11 to 3?
11 to 3.
And on Friday?
On Friday, same hours.
11 to 3?
Yeah, 11 to 3. Yes.
That's 12 hours a week? Where's the other 6 hours that you say you study a week?
The 6 hours I just spend over there. Sometimes I discussion with the friends, discussions.
But I'm more concerned about the timetabled hours. Yeah, not meeting up with friends. It's timetabled hours in a classroom with a tutor talking to you about your modules.
Mr. Raymond wants to come into the UK on a student visa. Officer Newbury is not convinced, but needs hard evidence before he can refuse the man entry. In Essex, enforcement teams regularly visit just in case. At Terminal 3, the foreign student who went home to Pakistan for a hair transplant is still being questioned by Officer Newbury.
Where do you live in the UK?
Sir, I live in Hounslow.
Where is your college based?
This college is in Borough High Street.
Where, sorry?
Borough High Street, B-R-O-U-G-H.
Borough High Street?
Yeah, Borough High Street.
Okay. How do you get from Hounslow to your college?
Sir, I go to Hounslow by tube.
Okay, so I want you to explain to me what your route is. I know you told the officer earlier that you go direct from Hounslow to London Bridge on the Piccadilly line, which
Piccadilly.
you can't do.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I want you to explain to me what your route is.
Yeah, I told you, it's Piccadilly line from Hounslow to, and I don't know, is some stop I put off and change something other.
You don't know what stop that is?
Pardon?
You don't know what stop?
But I don't know what stop. But I think so. I just take in is other line one, because most of the time I go with my friends.
One of my colleagues contacted your college and asked them to confirm your attendance on your course. What do you think they said to us?
Okay, sir.
You don't know? Okay. They've confirmed to us in writing that you've not attended your college since September 2007.
No, sorry, it's not possible.
Not possible. You're saying that they're lying?
Yeah, it's been lying.
Okay.
But one letter I have also.
Well, that's what they've sent us. Okay, that was sent to us. Okay. Since September, they've confirmed to us in writing, as you can see, that you've not attended any classes. They've also confirmed what modules you should be studying, and they're not the ones that you've told me today. So how do you explain that? I'm inclined to believe what they're saying. So I want you to tell me, what have you been doing in this country since September 2007? You don't know?
No, sir.
Stop the interview for the moment, and I'll come back and speak to you a bit later, and we'll try and get to the bottom of this. It's quite obvious that he's been caught out. He's played the game. I assume he's been working for the last 6 months, probably full time. He's probably made a bit of money out of it. He's been caught, but he just won't admit it.
If there is clear evidence a foreign student is working more than the permitted 20 hours or is not attending his course, he will be refused entry. Officer Newbury refers the case to the Chief Immigration Officer.
Do you think, in your opinion, that we have sufficient information as things stand for us to cancel it without necessarily having the information from the employers?
Yes.
From the interview notes that you've done so far?
From interview notes and from what the college has sent us this morning, I think we have got sufficient information to cancel his UKRP and return him back to Pakistan.
Right, fine. I'm authorising that recommendation.
Okay, I've actually spoken to the Chief Immigration Officer with regards to your case. He has decided to believe what the college have said, because they have no reason to lie to us. and we are going to be refusing your entry to the United Kingdom, cancelling your visa, and returning back to Pakistan on the next available flight. Okay?
You do not give me a right of appeal?
That's what I was going to come to next. So those are two options that you have in front of you. You can either stay in the UK for 5 days to appeal, and you'll be in detention for 5 days, or you can return to Pakistan and you've got 28 days to make an appeal out of country. So I need to know now what your option is, what you decide you want to do.
I want to appeal here.
You want to appeal in country, you want to stay for 5 days in detention.
Yeah.
You won't be allowed entry into the UK, you're aware of that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. The basis of your argument going to be that the college is lying.
Why college send like this letter?
What do you think the judge will think, though, when he sees this written information from the college confirming, in writing, signed by the college, saying that you've not attended for 6 months? You're going to spend 5 days in a detention centre to appeal against this, just on the fact that you think that the college is lying, and you're insisting on staying in this country to appeal,
Yes, sir.
even though you've got nothing to appeal against.
Yes, sir.
You're just going to waste everyone's time.
Yes,
It's a waste of our taxpayers' money, isn't it? Well, I've tried to help, but that's it. Okay, I'll pop you back in the holding room now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Would you like to follow me, please?
The man was granted temporary admission to lodge his appeal. He later withdrew the appeal, but remains in Britain awaiting the outcome of a judicial review.
This man has been called in because he was arrested in the UK in spring 2009, yet the stamp in his Nigerian passport says he had already returned to Nigeria. He'll be interviewed by Officer Phil Morgan.
The next case we have is a family visitor. He has come to the attention of the police in the UK in March of this year, 2009. And when we look through the entry stamps back into Nigeria, the last entry into Nigeria that he has is on the 12th of November 2008. Now my guess is he's maybe paid somebody to wind back the stamp to show him entering Nigeria before the expiry conditions of his last UK visa, which expired on the 7th of December 2008.
If the man wants a visa, he'll have to explain how he got his passport stamped when he was clearly still in the UK.
Morning. I need to ask you some questions about your current application, okay?
Okay.
What do you do for a living?
At the moment, I'm a farmer.
You're a farmer?
Yes, please.
A farmer in what?
In poultry, fishery, and piggery.
And are you married?
Yeah, happily married.
And how many children do you have?
2 able boys.
2 sons?
Yes, please.
Okay.
My gene is for boys, so I don't want to go further.
I noticed from your passport that you last entered the UK on the 28th of October.
October,
Yeah? And how long did you stay?
I stayed almost 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah, almost.
So when did you return to Nigeria?
March 21.
Sorry?
March 21.
But your visa expired on the your visa expired on the 7th of December 2008.
Yeah.
So you breached your conditions.
No, something terrible happened.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah, the last time I traveled, October 27, I traveled with a cousin of mine. His name is Akinremi Adetola.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were to come back on the 12th of November, but I changed my mind to stay 5 more days.
Yeah, so what was the terrible thing that happened then?
Yeah, while he was coming back, he came back with my jacket. And my passport and ticket was in my jacket.
Yes.
When he tendered the passport for stamping at the immigration office here, and you know what applies here is, you'll be on the queue, 2 people will be sitting down. You give your passport to the first person, he sends it to the next person to stamp. Then the next person that stamp will call you when he wants to hand over it to you. So by the point of handing over, they discover it's not the owner of the passport, and my passport was withheld.
Does your cousin look anything like you then?
Not really, not really.
Not really? Yeah. So the Nigerian immigration officer didn't look at the biodata page and compare the photographs with your cousin?
At the point of delivery, that was when they compared. But they've already done the stamping.
That's very good, thank you. I need to refer to my entry clearance manager, okay?
Okay.
If you wait outside, please.
Yeah, I just want to add that why I had to stay long was because of that issue, and it took me 3 months to get emergency travel certificate. That was, in fact, that was so devastating. To apply for emergency travel certificate in Nigeria Embassy took 3 months, while I have a lot of things to do here. I have social engagement to attend, I have my business meeting to attend, I have so many things to attend.
But it's an emergency travel document, surely. But they're issued within 24 hours.
That's why I'm surprised. You need to see the crowd. I need to go through the website to download. After downloading, you need to be giving interview date 3 months. It's so disgusting. That's my area of problem with that.
Well, as I said, I need to refer the case to the entry clearance
fine.
manager. So
That's
if you'd
fine.
like to wait outside, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, he's attempted to explain why the re-entry stamp shows the 21st of November. He says that his cousin took his passport back to Nigeria with him and got the Nigerian Immigration Service to stamp that. I don't find that very credible myself. So I believe there's an attempt at deception here to show that he returned before his visa conditions expired. Now, if we were to believe that his passport was brought back to Nigeria by mistake, his reason for staying the extra 3 to 4 months was that he applied for an emergency travel document from the Nigerian High Commission in London, and it took 3 months. Now, I believe those documents are issued within 24 or 48 hours.
Okay.
So I just don't find that credible either.
And has he got a copy of that emergency travel document with him?
I didn't actually ask that, so I can ask him a few more questions if you wish.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Both Phil and Dan have their doubts, so this time Phil will confront the man about his police record.
Do you still have your emergency travel document?
No, they collect it at the immigration office, and I have to stay five hours because I need to collect my passport back, and that was the only evidence to show I'm the owner of the passport.
What did you do for the 3 months while you were waiting for this emergency travel document to be issued?
You can see I've grown belly now. I was feeding.
What, you ate for 24 hours a day?
Sleeping, going around, they're monitoring my business here.
Okay. Have you been arrested and fingerprinted by the police in the UK?
Myself? Over what?
I'm asking you.
Not that I can remember. Yeah, except for driving with my international license, yeah.
So you have been?
Yes.
When was this?
I can't remember, it's been a long time. I can't remember, it should be 4 years.
When you were arrested by the police, what name did you give them?
My name, Adebayo.
Well, I have evidence that you gave a different name.
Can I know the name they told me, they said I gave?
Yes?
Yes, please. Yeah.
It's Adiwele.
Adebayo.
No, Adiwele.
They misquoted then.
No. I have the police record, and that's the name you gave them. And also, what is your date of birth?
1904, 1960.
1960?
Yes, please.
Why did
1964, sorry.
Well, again, I have evidence that you gave the police in the UK your date of birth as the 25th of September 1975.
No, that's not me. That's not me.
Well, they're your fingerprints that the police took, and that's the name you gave them.
No, I'm sure I gave them my name, Adebayo, and my correct date of birth. That it has never changed.
Okay. And why did the police arrest you?
What happened was I used the extra small tire.
Oh, the emergency tire, yeah?
The emergency tire. And I was arrested because of that.
That's fine, thank you very much. If you'd just like to wait outside again, please.
Thank you.
It's the end of the interview, and the man has failed to explain his deception.
So, plans are obviously to refuse for use of deception from obtaining a stamp by deception, which appears genuine.
I believe it is genuine.
And we'll obviously refuse him and refer him to the police.
Indeed. Right, I've referred your application to the entry clearance manager, and your visa application has been refused. The reason it's been refused is that at the time you were arrested by the police, you gave a different name and date of birth from that in your passport. Also, you overstayed in the United Kingdom by more than 28 days.
Yeah, but that wasn't intentional. I explained that.
No, but you should have attempted to regularise your position, your status in the UK, having realised that your visa had expired and that you were in the UK illegally. Anyway, that's a copy for you with your appeal papers, okay? The gentleman over there will give you back the documents and your passport, okay? Thank you.
The gentleman holding his passport is Inspector Lawal of the Lagos Fraud Unit. He was taken away for further questioning, but released without charge the same afternoon.